Hello from the Henk. It's Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the action here in this 18U Women's Division II Final. Great weekend of volleyball here at the Henk Ruys Soccer Center and also at the Legend Center in Warman, presented by Sask Volleyball. And yeah, here we are in the Division II Gold Medal Final. You have one of the usual suspect programs in these gold medal games, the 18U Women's Husky Elite, taking on the Blitz Blackout out of Yorkton. The Husky Elite, a bit of an interesting story to get here, seeded number 1 in Division II. They were 0-3 in pool play in all close matches, but because seeds 1 to 4 are in that power pool, they all advance to the quarterfinals. So in the quarterfinals, they beat the Waka Warriors in 3 and the Moose Jaw Golden Ticket in 3 to be here. That's how the team in the near court, to your perspective, the Huskies in the black sweaters with the traditional Husky green letters there. The Blitz Blackout seeded number 6 in Division II, 4-0 in Pool T. In the quarterfinals, they took on the QCVC Elite, the number 3 seed, and beat them in 3 sets, and defeated the number 4 seed Weyburn Surge in the semifinal to get here. So yeah, they've knocked off some big fish to get to this Div 2 gold medal final. The Blitz Blackout, do they have another upset in them here? I guess we'll find out as they take on the Huskies, who, yeah, pool play didn't go great for them, but being the number 1 seed has its benefits, and they were able to advance to the quarterfinal being in part of that power pool. So Huskies set to serve here. Play will induce momentarily from the lower left corner of your screen as Dole gets play going. And right away, Addison Dole deals an ace and puts her team up 1-0 here. Court number 12 action. Glad you could join us wherever you may be on this sunny Saskatchewan Sunday and whomever you may be cheering for. Dole tries to hammer another ace, but this one sails through the back of the court. The Blitz wise to hold off on that offering, and Blitz Blackout will serve now. Haley McKittishin. Knuckler serve played by the libero Clausen. Set by Rogers. Net play. Debuzak sent that over the net, and no reply coming from the Blitz. And the Huskies take a 2-1 lead. And serving for the Husky Elite will be Caitlin Bigler. Bigler, good hard serve. Nice first pass, far court, coming from Maya Ruff. Ball skating around a little bit on the Husky side of the net, and they're not able to corral that stray. Side out, and a point for the Blitz Blackout here. As Gabrielle Marishuk-Butler will serve. Dole, oh, tries to dig that one, but that was coming in hot. That ball with not much spin on it. When you don't have spin, you're never sure which way it's going to be going. The knuckler, if you will. And Marishuk-Butler. Another knuckler, twisting and turning. Big swing from Debuzak, dug from the Blitz. Sent over the net. Dole is there back row. Chasing that down is Rogers. Jessamine just running out of time and space to maneuver. And the Blitz Blackout going up a couple here. It's 4-2. Gabrielle Marishuk-Butler trying to keep things rolling for her squad, who has an early 2-point lead here in this first set race to 25. Debuzak, Rogers, and Jessamine tips that over. Good dig there from the libero. And Gray sends that over in 3. Clausen, Rogers, big swing. Debuzak, did that go off of anyone? No, it didn't. Sailing through the back of the court. And didn't hit any fingerprints en route to hammering that end board. 5-2 lead now for the Blitz Blackout in this opening set. Race to 25. Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the play-by-play action here on court number 12. Good hard serve. Dole and Clausen both there. Jessamine on that right side. Allows the Blitz Blackout in 3 to get that ball over. Debuzak, good block there, and a strong presence at the net. Meyer Ruff. Big block there, and So far, Blitz Blackout able to neutralize that potent Husky attack here, and they lead it by 4 here in this first set. Marischuk Butler. If her team gets another point, you got to think a timeout might be coming here. Punched over the net there by the Huskies, Soleil Olufsky. Big swing, though, coming from Gray. Oh, she's a strong presence in the middle. And it's 7-2, and there you go. Michelle Ashby is going to use her timeout along with coaching staff Megan Toman, Paige Hummony, and Sadie Hughes. Blitz Blackout, their head coach, Jared Butler, has to like what he's seeing here. Jared, don't call me Gerard Butler. And his team with a quick 5-point lead in this opening set. See if the Huskies can muster a coach's point for Michelle Ashby, who pumped the brakes on things with her team trailing by 5 after a bit of a run by Gabrielle Marischuk Butler and the Blitz Blackout program out of the beautiful community of Yorkton. So you can never count out a volleyball team named Huskies in this province, but Jared Butler and the Blitz Blackout have got to love their start here. Gabrielle Marischuk Butler. She's been dealing serves that have been tough to return for the Huskies. We'll see if she can continue on a roll here. Clausen, Olovsky, and Jessamine, but the block there from Gray. Oh. Lucina Gray, 15 in the middle, is going to be a problem for the Huskies if she continues at this pace. She's had some big swings, but the block moments ago paid the bills. 8-2, Blitz Blackout lead. Dole, back row, Rogers, Debuzak. Pulled out of the net, and that's going to be a point. And 4 hits, the call, as that ball never got over the net before that 4th contact was made. So Marischuk Butler continues on her roll, 9 serving 2 here in this opening set. Clausen, Olovsky, and Jessamine free balls it. Played back row by Dutchak, and eventually sent over the net by the Blitz Blackouts rough. Debuzak punches that over the net. Played by the libero. And hammered over the net by Yorkton's Alana Gray. And the ball pinballs through Yorkton's court after the Huskies were able to get it over, and they get an important side out here. It'll be 3 serving 9. Casey Jessamine. She's had the opportunity for some big swings in this opening set. She'll serve momentarily, coming out of the bottom right portion of your screen here. 3 serving 9. Huskies trying to string together some points here in this opening set. Jessamine, good hard serve. Nice play though. They get to the setter, tipped over, and the Huskies, Jessamine was there. Free balled over the net by Debuzak. And now Gray, oh, good tip by Gray. Nice reflex play there by Jessamine to keep things active. And Debuzak punches that over. Big swing off of fingertips, and that's going to be a side out and a point. Yep. They got to look at it. Alana Gray off some Husky fingertips as that ball sailed out of bounds. And now it's Lucina Gray. Dole. Rogers. Debuzak off the block, out of bounds. Big swing. Bailey Debuzak. Point number 4, personnel change coming in for the Huskies now is Shelby Elchuk. And serving for the Huskies will be the aforementioned Bailey Debuzak. Big play moments ago. 10-4 the score, Debuzak. Good hard serve coming in hot off the fingertips of Christo. And double contact called on the Blitz side of the net. Huskies taking a bite into that big lead. It's now 10-5. Here at the Henk Ruys Soccer Center. Hard serve from Debuzak and a good take from the Blitz. As that ball sailed out of bounds about knee height at the end line. Blitz Blackout with a side out. Meyer Ruff. Oh, that's a good hard serve. Libero Clausen digs that. Debuzak and sent over the net by Olovsky. Played back row by the Blitz. Big swing! Oh, Bailey Meyer. Where did that come from? Whammo. Point number 12 on the board for the Blitz Blackout. Clausen. Rogers. And a swing there from Elchuk off the block, and the Blitz Blackout able to free ball that over in 3 to Busak to Rogers, and Elchuk sends that over. The libero is there, and we're getting play blown down here. And the referee saying that somewhere along the line, I think that ball hit the floor, so in any event, point number 13 for the Blitz. Meyer Ruff. Clausen. Rogers. Elchuk. And sent over the nets by the Blitz Blackout. Gray. And point Blitz Blackout. 14-5, they lead this one. 19 points between these two teams. I would not have predicted this score coming into it, as we get close to the 20th point of this opening set here. Elchuk, and that one just handcuffed her. Coming in about eye level. And it's 15-5. The Huskies, they got the athletes that can shift momentum, but just a sound game with some potent offense and some good defense here from the Blitz Blackout. Free-balled over the net by Clausen. As the Blitz Blackout chase that one down, Meyer eventually sends it over. Meyer at the net is there to patrol it, doesn't need to touch it for her team's 16th point, as the Huskies just unable to get anything sustained going here. They trail by 11, 16-5 in this opening set. Michelle Ashby and the coaching staff corralling the troops here. We can see her speaking in very concise sentences to the girls below us here. Meanwhile, on the far court, Jared Butler just not wanting to change much up, as he's had a great start. His girls coming out swinging here. 16-5 they lead it in this opening set. Race to 25. Div 2 finals. Huskies defeating the Golden Ticket program in the semis to get here. Blitz Blackout, the Yorkton-based squad, defeating the Weyburn Surge to be here. Blitz holding serve, Meyer Ruff. See if that timeout called by the Huskies can break up her momentum a little bit. She's had some tough ones to return, but now there's another knuckler coming in hot over the net. Elchuk's going to get a swing at it. Dug in the back row, but the Blitz Blackout unable to find the handle on that hit after the Huskies delivered it. So point number 6 by the Huskies is they take a nibble into this big Blitz Blackout lead. So Leo Olovsky now, coming out of the bottom middle of your screen momentarily here. Olovsky, oh, good take from the Blackout. Point number 17 of this opening set for that squad. Alana Gray. Serving for the Blackout, Debusak. Rogers. And Bigler comes up huge when her team needed her to. There's still a lot of debt to pay. You're down by 10. But Bigler with that swing perhaps has altered momentum a little bit. Let's see how the Huskies respond as their setter Rogers is going to serve now. Emerson Rogers. Ruff. Elchuk with the big swing right back at them and punched over the net by Marischek Butler. Elchuk with the swing off the block as that taps the opposition court. The debt is 9 for the Huskies. Ruff. Good job by the setter. McKittishin, pardon me. Got to get that extra syllable in there. In any event, point for the Huskies. They trail by 8 now. Good serve coming in hot just over the net. McKittishin with the nice setter dump there. And punched over the net by the Blitz. Diving play by Clausen. Rogers, Elchuk. And the Blitz, no reply there. A little bit of momentum now on the side of the Huskies in this opening set. They trail by a converted touchdown, and Jared Butler, pardon me, this is not the movie 300. This is the 18U Division II finals here. And Jared Butler is going to call the troops in. (17-10) lead for the Blitz, and Butler pumping the brakes here before the Huskies can get some momentum going. Huskies rattling off 4 points in a row here. They trailed 17-6 moments ago. Emerson Rogers trying to narrow the deficit here at the Henk Ruys Soccer Center. It's played by Ruff, but unable to go bump set spike or the Blitz Blackout. 11-17, Rogers now on a bit of a roll here, leading her team back into this one. And that one just handcuffing the libero for the Blitz Blackout, and Rogers is dealing 6 straight points. And what was once 17-6 is now 17-12. Good hard serve. Dutchak, the libero, and a back row swing, but just straight into the net. And it looks like the Huskies have found their mojo. Nice serve just over the net. Playable and free ball sent over on a good athletic play by Meyer. Big swing. Ruff chases that as Gray sends that over. Bigler, Rogers, Elchuk. Nice dig. Libero for the Blitz is there and hammered over the net to Buzak. And passed out of bounds and unable to do anything is Jessamine. And a much-needed side out for the Blitz Blackout. They lead by 5 now. They needed that because the Huskies were rolling. And now Bailey Meyer. 18-13 the score. Trying to get a big lead back here. Elchuk, Rogers, and Jessamine, is she going to have time and space to maneuver? She is. And let's see if the Blitz Blackout can reply here. Teams go back and forth, a little bit of net play. Elchuk opportunity for a big swing, and she finds pay dirt. Side out and a point, 14-18. Dole is going to check in here. Bringing Addison Dole in to serve. Dole, good hard serve. They're going to be able to play that? Yeah, they are. They fish it out of no man's land. However, on that free ball, it sails through the court. And 18-15 the score. Blitz Blackout. We'll see if they can stay in front here. The Huskies have been surging. Good hard serve by Dole, played by Gray. Mikitishyn, big swing there, and a nice athletic play by Clausen. Dubusak finds the corner. Well, that second time out after that very pointed speech from Michelle Ashby, the coach of the Huskies. That seemed to cure what ailed them in the opening portion of this one. Personnel change here as out goes Mikitishyn. And coming into play is Lila Siski. 24 in. Service ace though. 18-17. And what was once a deficit of 11 is now merely 1 for Addison Dole. And this Husky elite squad in this Div 2 gold medal final here at the Henk Ruys Soccer Center. Someone's got to grab that one. A little bit of you do it, no you do it. And they're not going to be able to return that ball in the required 3. And now we're 18 apiece, with momentum squarely aboard the green team here. Huskies need a little bit of time to figure things out, and they have over the last little bit. Siski sets up her teammate, but a good take from the Huskies as that blocked, or that attempted block, didn't hit any fingertips, and now first time in a while the Huskies have a lead, and Jared Butler is going to call a timeout here and rally the troops here. And just remind them that they can hang with this team. At one point they had an 11-point lead in this set. Well, as we approach the 20th point of this opening set, we're in the end game now of set number 1. A very, very strong start for the Blitz Blackout. A solid middle for the Husky Elite, an equally strong middle. And as we hit the end here, who's going to be able to maintain focus? Who's going to be able to make the play? And who may have a little bit of luck on their side as well, as that tends to be a key ingredient in situations such as these. Addison Dole. Not much chatter from either team right now. Stepping up with that big swing and out of bounds. Like that play from Alana Gray as she was set up. Coming from the back row, but just a little bit too much oomph on that, and it's 2018 Huskies. Dole, Gray, chased down and sent over the net by Ruff. Clausen, Rogers, Dubusak, Siski with a good job of blocking it and then recovering. Sent over the net, Dole digs. Rogers passes Dubusak. Dubusak, oh, big block. And the Blitz Blackout needed that from Lucina Gray, 15 in the middle. She's had a few of those, and she delivers for her team a much-needed side-out and point. They trail by 1. Stray ball on the court, which will pause things momentarily. Layla Siski. And a good take from Clausen and the Huskies to get their 21st point of this opening set. Bigler. Gray. And stepping up with that swing is Alana Gray. Olovsky, Jessamine. And Jessamine just unable to convert. 21-20 lead by the Huskies. Gabrielle Marichuk Butler. Her serving helped the Blitz Blackout get that big lead earlier. She went on a bit of a run. And that serve handcuffs Dole. 21 apiece. What an opening set between these two teams. 17-6 at one point. The Blitz Blackout led in this opening set. How about we trade points now and see who wins the race to 25, or maybe more if necessary. Got to win by 2, remember? You knew that. Rogers, Olovsky, big swing. Where did that come from? Soleil Olovsky. And could that be a momentum-altering whammo to propel the Huskies to a first-set win here? Casey Jessamine will serve from the bottom of your screen momentarily here. Jessamine, good hard serve. Dutchak, the libero. And Gray, dug by Jessamine. Clausen. And Dole's going to push that over in 3. Good job by the Huskies to get that over. They were in a little bit of trouble. Gray with a big swing, though. Clausen keeps it alive. To Buzak. And Rogers, the setter, pushes it over. Siski, Gray, tips it over. Nice play, Jessamine. Who was on the net? Someone's on the net. And it looks like it was Husky personnel this time. 22 apiece. Lucina Gray. Gray, Clausen, punched at the net. And that's going to be a point for the Blitz. And no, referee saying my bad. And he's going to explain things to Rogers here. And it looks like they might replay the point here. He blew the play down, perhaps maybe initially thinking that someone was on the net. In any event, we'll do it again, 22-22. Gray, Dole, Rogers to Busak. Clausen, Dole to Busak's going to try again. Block, kept alive by Ruff, and passed over the net by Gray. Rogers to Busak, blocked, out of bounds, point, Huskies. Elchuk for Dole. (23-22). Serve is drilled into the net, 23 apiece. Meyer Ruff. Oh, just over the tape. Clausen with a nice dig on that serve that was coming in hot. Elchuk gets underneath it, sends it out the back of the court, and we're at set point here. Elchuk, Dole are going to sub each other out again. Defense for offense. Meyer Ruff. Clausen, Busak. And Clausen passes that over the net. Oh, that's going to be a tough one to play for the Blitz. 25 won't be enough here. 24 up. Soleil Olovsky. Served by Olovsky. Free-balled over by Meyer. Bigler, Rogers, and Dole. Dole delivers. And the Huskies in a set point situation. Olovsky. Good first pass there by Christo. And just sent over the net by Gray. Huskies reply. Big swing, and was that in bounds? Yes, it was. Paley Meyer. And 26 won't be enough in this opening set here. Atlanta Gray. No spin on that serve as it's dug by Clausen. Rogers and Dole swings it over the net. Gray in the back row. Punched off the antenna. As the Huskies get their 26th point of this opening set. Rogers. Played back row by the libero Dutchak. And eventually free-balled over the net where Dole is waiting. Rogers, Jessamine out. Just a little bit of a miscommunication between Rogers and Jessamine. Side out from the Blitz. And now 27 won't be enough. Meyer sends it to Clausen. Rogers, Jessamine. That go off of any personnel. Out of bounds. Nobody got that on the block, so point for the Blitz here. 27-26 here. And they could potentially wrap things up here if they are able to get the next point. Bailey Meyer. (27) up. Dole. Good serve from Dole. Played back row by Gray. Siski. Gray. Nice dig by Clausen. Rogers. Debusak. And dug by Dutchak. Sent over the net. Dole chases it down. Rogers. Debusak. Nice play by the libero Dutchak, who free balls that over. Dole back row is waiting. Rogers. Debusak. Off of fingertips. Gray in the back row. Siski. Big swing sent over the net by Marishak Butler. Debusak now punches that over. Played by the Blitz. Gray. Marishak Butler. Dole. Big swing, Gray. Pinballing around. Can they get it over the net? They do, but out of bounds. And it's 28-27 now for the Blitz, trying to wrap this up. Layla Siski. Siski. Dole grabs it. Debusak. And it's a point for the Blitz. 29-27. They take the opening set, an emotional opening set. That had some twists and turns in it. But the Blitz able to lock things down. Set number 2 should be fun. The Blitz led 17-6. The Huskies made a comeback and took a lead after that, but the Blitz able to lock it down in this opening set. Set number 2 straight ahead here on the Sask Volleyball YouTube page. And welcome back to the Henk Ruys Soccer Center. Glad you could join us for another solid Sunday afternoon of Sask volleyball action, provincial finals. This is the Division II gold medal game in the 18U women's division. The Huskie elite team taking on the Blitz Blackout. An emotional 29-27 first set win for the Blitz Blackout. They'll try and take care of the Huskies in straight sets here. Easier said than done, as Haley Mikatishin will serve and try and get things going on the right foot for her Blitz Blackout squad, who opened up a big lead in set one before the Huskies were able to settle down. Let's see what set two brings us. Right away, it's a point for the Huskies as that swing is in the block and lands on the Blitz side of the net. Serve coming from Casey Jessamine. And Gray. Olovsky is there with the block, though. Point Huskies, who quickly go up a couple. Sending Jessamine back to the service area. Good hard serve from Jessamine. Dutchak plays that. Gray. And sent over the net by Lucina Gray. Now Rogers sent over the net, and that's going to be a side out, double contact called. So the Blitz get on the board after some nefarious contact on the far side of the court. Huskies in the black with the familiar Husky green trim, taking on the Blitz Blackout. White unis with the red trim, black shorts. Marishek Butler serving. Gabriel Marishek Butler had a strong first set. Big swing off the tape. And side out on the 4 hits. So point for the Blitz. Or pardon me, not a side out, I guess. They were holding serve. And Marishek Butler will serve again. She went on a big roll in the first set, helping her team build a giant lead that eventually evaporated before the Blitz Blackout were able to settle things down. A lot of momentum changes in that opening set. And that one hits the court. It's an ace. And Gabriel Marishek Butler has been dealing today. 3-2, her team leads. Marishek Butler sends that to a waiting Shelby Elchuk. Elchuk with an opportunity to get a swing here. Off the block, Rogers recovers, Jessamine, and Elchuk again where Gray is waiting. Mikatikchuk, and a swing there from Ruff. Elchuk tips it over. Gray gets a piece. Dutchak the libero, but yeah, they can't find the handle on it. And side out and point Huskies. 3-3 the score now. Dole. Addison Dole will get play going here. Dole, Dutchak, tracked down by the setter, and yet just unable to play that one through the antenna. Point by the Huskies. Dole to serve again, her team up 1. Mikatishin, and a back row swing coming from Eloise Christo. Gets the Blitz an important side out. 4-4 the score. Lucina Gray. Gray, Clausen, Rogers. Net play there with Meyer. And now Rogers sets up the big swing. It's off the block. Good job there. Meyer blocked that one. But a nice heads-up play at the net by Rogers, the setter, recognizing where the opposition personnel wasn't and finding some vacant court to push that ball towards. 5-4 lead for the Huskies. Oh, stray ball. Soleolovsky serving. Dutchak. And pushed over the net by Christo after that set from Alana Gray. Big swing, and what can you do with that? Bailey Debusak lowers the boom and puts her team up a deuce. Plenty of chatter at the net coming from the Huskies now. Olovsky. Swing here, nope. Tipped over the net by Gray. And just kind of unable to plant her feet properly and get a good swing on that was Debusak, as that one off the antenna. 6-5 the score. Nobody really able to pull away as of yet in this second set. First set, 29 points were necessary, and a 29-27 win from the Blitz Blackout. Good hard serve. Oh, wow. A knuckler that just changed direction from Maya Ruff. Looked like it was coming in about chest level and then just took a sharp turn down. Oh, another good serve there from Ruff. Rogers, Debusak, Dutchak, Mikitishyn. And sent over the net by Gray. Clausen with the play and free balled over by Dole. Christo is there, Mikitishyn. And Meyer off the block. Bailey Meyer gives the Blitz their first lead in a minute in this second set. Meyer Ruff. Oh, serve from Ruff kind of crossed up the Huskies. They were looking to rotate personnel as that ball crossed the net, and yeah, they just got crossed up a little bit. 8 serving 6. Ruff has been dealing. Helped her team to a few points in that first set. And strong here in set number 2. Clausen chases that down. Debusak delivers a big swing. Bailey Debusak side out. And lucky 7 on the board now for the Huskies as Rogers will serve with her team down by 1. Dutchak, Mikitishyn, Meyer, oh, Clausen, nice dig. Rogers and Debusak. Was that in bounds? Nope, just a bit too far. Not off of any fingertips. And a big swing from Debusak, but side out, Blitz. And now Alana Gray. Gray. Debusak, Rogers, Debusak, and that one found pay dirt. Nice little spot in the corner. Good heads-up swing. Elchuk for Dole again. Offense for defense. Bailey Debusak. Her team down by 1. Oh, just into the net. Unforced error. And that will give Bailey Meyer a chance to serve now. Her team up a couple. And you're wondering if maybe the full weekend of activity starting to factor into things a little bit here. Millie Hindmarsh to serve now for the Huskies, down by 1. Dutchak, Mikitishyn. And free balled over the net by Ruff. Debusak, back row. Rogers, Olovsky. Oh, Doug. Can they fish it out of the net, though? No, they can't. And after that big swing from Olovsky, the Huskies tie things up at 10 here. Millie Hindmarsh. And a good take from the Blitz. Ball sails through. It's a point for the Blackout. Haley Mikitishyn. Played back row, Debusak, Clausen, and Elchuk. Oh, Elchuk trying to punch that over, but just kind of lost her footing by the looks of it. The side of the hand. Hallie Mikitishyn. Oh. Few unforced errors in this second set. It's a little hot in here too. Fatigue might starting to be creeping in here. Ruff. And now Ruff on hit number 3. After the ball was passed to her. Free ball. Sent over the net. Mikitishyn, Gray. Gray battles at the net and wins. Lucina Gray. Coming up big at the net there is Gabrielle Marishek-Butler. She have another run in her. Oh, good hard serve, Marishek-Butler. She's been good today. When she serves, nothing easy to return coming over that net. (14-11). Marishek-Butler spinning serve. Played by the Huskies. Free ball sent over the net by Debusak. Marishek-Butler. Mikitishyn, Gray. Played by Clausen. Debusak covers. Free ball. Olovsky will send that over the net where Marishek-Butler's waiting at the back of the court. Mikitishyn and Gray to Debusak. Rogers. Olovsky off the block though. Gray was there this time. Oh, that's an intriguing battle in the middle. Olovsky and Gray. This round goes to Gray, and her team is up 4 points now. Marishek-Butler smiling just below us as she gets set to serve. You'll see her come out of the bottom right corner of your screen. She's feeling good about how things are going in this second set now with her team up by 4. Clausen, Rogers, and Jessamine sends that over. Gray, Mikitishyn, and Gray. Boom! Is anyone going to be able to get to that? No, they won't. Alana Gray this time with a whammo. And 16-11. And Gabrielle Marishek-Butler. That first pass is tough to make with Marishek-Butler dealing here. Clausen this time puts it on a tee for Rogers and sets up Elchuk, and there you go. Good passing from the Huskies that time around to get an important side out. 12-16 is going to be the score. The Huskies feel like they needed that one at this point. As for the Blitz Blackout, Eloise Christo checks in. Marishek-Butler out. Addison Dole now serving for the Husky team. Dutchak, Mikitishyn, Gray off some fingertips, recovered by the Huskies. Mikitishyn with the setter dump. Casey Jessamine has made a couple of plays off the block, and delivering the swing is Debusak off of personnel on the Blitz side of things. Point Huskies. And they're within a field goal now of tying this one up, 13-16. Dutchak, Mikitishyn, and Christo sends that over the net. Chasing that down are the Huskies, and Clausen will be able to pass that over in 3. Dutchak, Mikitishyn, and Alana Gray. Jessamine, Clausen stepping up for the swing is Debusak, but the block was there. The impenetrable block that time. Side out Blitz, 17-13. Gray, Clausen, Rogers, Olovsky, Meyer there with the block. However, point Huskies as that one landed on the Blitz side of the net. Olovsky to serve again. Her team down by 3 here. Olovsky. Oh, good hard serve just over the tape, played by Dutchak. Mikitishyn and Christo from the back row. Good take by the Huskies. And they're within a deuce. And a timeout called by Jared Butler of the Blitz Blackout. Second set here, not unlike the first. You had the Blitz Blackout at one point take an 11-point lead. Now, the deficit has never been that extreme in the second set for the Huskies, but Blitz Blackout have led through most of this one. Huskies, though, really forced the issue in that first set, thundering back. Blitz with an eventual 29-27 win in that second set. Or in that first set, rather. We're in the second set now, and the Huskies trying to force that third set sprint to 15. Jared Butler and his crew, though, doing everything they can to wrap things up in straight sets here. Task much easier said than done. Soleil Olavsky. Olavsky, spinning serve, handled by Christo. Mikitishyn and Gray pushes that back court. And punched over by Dubusak. Ruff with the swing. Played back row by the Huskies. Dubusak punches that over. Christo is there. Mikitishyn. Gray and Rogers with some net play there. And that one lands on the Blitz side of the net. And we'll get our score right here. 17-16 is where we're at. There we go. Blitz leading by 1. Soleil Olavsky. And a good take as that sails through the back of the court. Blitz lead is 2 again, as Meyer Ruff will serve now. Good hard serve, played by Dole. Big swing to Busak, and sent over the net by Gray. Huskies, Rogers, tipped over the net by Hindmarsh, and now Ruff drills that over the net. Clausen, Rogers, Dubusak with the swing there, and Dubusak steps up. Emerson Rogers and Bailey Dubusak have been working well together, and when they're on the same page, good things happening for the Huskies here. Personnel change. Ruff is out, Siski is in. Layla Siski came on in relief late in the first set and helped her team to that eventual win. 18-17 lead for the Blitz in the near court. Dutchak, and sent over by Mikitishyn. Clausen, Rogers, off the block, and the block was there. Bailey Meyer leading the charge. 19-17. Alana Gray. Serving with her team up a couple. Clausen, Rogers, and punched over the net by Hindmarsh. Mikitishyn, Meyer, good block by Hindmarsh. Siski, and sent over the net by Marishak Butler. Dutchak now. Mikitishyn, Siski, Marishak Butler punches it over the net. Dole waiting. Rogers keeps it alive. Point Blitz. Some nefarious contact there. Referee calls it on the carry. 17-20. Alana Gray, her team 5 away from a potential straight set gold medal here in this Div 2 final. Big swing into the net. (21-17). Clausen. Rogers. Off the block and out of bounds. Marishak Butler got a piece of it, but a good swing by Dubusac to send that off of the opposition and out of bounds. 18-21. And switching up some personnel is coming in to serve is going to be Caitlin Bigler, subbing out Dubusac. Bigler. Gray. Mikitician. Meyer pushes that over the net. Bigler back row. Rogers. And the big swing from Elchuk. And referee wants to have a chat with the line judge there as to whether or not that went off any Blitz personnel. And they want to make sure they get this right here. I believe the initial call was that it did go off of a Yorkton player before heading out of bounds. Going to make sure and get this right, though. And no, it didn't. So a break for the Blitz, who get a point, 22-18. Bailey Meyer. Her team, but 3 away. Clausen. Nice pass, just right to Rogers. And punched over the net by Elchuk. Gray sends that to the backcourt. Clausen is there. Rogers and Elchuk. Gray. Mikitician. Blocked. And a good block there. Hindmarsh was there, as was Jessamine. Side out Huskies, who aren't done yet, 19-22. Millie Hindmarsh to serve. Hindmarsh, Dutchak, Mikitician, and Gray from the back row. Hammers that over the net where Hindmarsh is waiting. Rogers, Olovsky, Gray, Mikitician, Lacina Gray, and back row dug by Hindmarsh. Punched over the net. Mikitician has it. And pushed hard by Siski. Now Rogers. Elchuk. And out of bounds. Referee got a good look at it. The line judge didn't. Referee did. Point Blitz Blackout. And they're just a couple away. Mikitician now trying to help her team put a button on Div 2 gold. Good hard serve just over the net. Clausen. Another great pass to Rogers. And Elchuk out of bounds. Championship point, Blitz. Ruff is going to check in. Dole is going to check in for the Huskies. Ruff for Siski. Dole for Elchuk. Haley Mikitician to serve. Her team could win it all. Played back row, Hindmarsh, Rogers, and sent over by Clausen. Gray, Mikitician, Gray off the block. Not just yet, say the Huskies. And now Jessamine to serve. For the Huskies right now, not mission impossible, mission improbable, definitely, but 24-20. The Blitz Blackout lead this one. And they take. And they win. Jared Butler and the Blitz Blackout come to Saskatoon and leave with gold. Solid game here by the Huskies. Great volleyball, lots of big swings, some good fundamentally sound play. You love to see it. But it's the Blitz Blackout who take this one in straight sets, 29-27 and 25-20. And they will head back to Yorkton with Division II gold. Thank you very much for joining us today, wherever you may be tuning in from. Hopefully it's as sunny and warm where you are as it is here at the Henk Ruys Soccer Center in Saskatoon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you very much for joining us on the Sask Volleyball YouTube